traders, and thank you for coming back and watching a video. This is a hot off the press new set file on a 1 minute time frame, and it's gone back to the original, well, not original, but gone back to the June 24th, which is the last day of June on the July box on MT4 settings, as it were. You know, that standard period that I use, June 24th to on 2024 to the current date. So if I don't make these videos when I think of it, they don't get made and months go by. And as you know, I want to keep you updated with what I'm doing, the guys that follow me on Twitter and here, YouTube, because I hit a bump in the road, as any of you followed me closely will know, which is I was about to sort of really concentrate, focus on bringing them to a few of you publicly, as it were, to use and test, and I haven't even worked out how to value them yet, but I'm so close now to thinking along those lines. Well, literally, I did some work last night on it, and the reason I've been delayed in doing all of this is well, three or fourfold really. It's towards the end of the summer here, supposedly in Vietnam, but it is absolutely searingly hot out there, too hot to sit in the sun. And you know, going all my swimming and walking and stuff, and come back for dinner. So that's been a distraction. Plus, I'm building a nice social life out here, and so I'm busy with people. And when the rain comes, I mean, it comes, and so I'm making the most of the sunshine and the outdoor life. But it's just going on far longer than I ever expected. Sorry, there's a bit off topic, but that's explaining why I'm not getting so much done and I'm not around on Twitter. But once the rain comes, then I will be spending time on Twitter and stuff, and on these EAs. So we hit a flat spot about 3 months ago. So everything was going gangbusters. I thought I'd, you know, just hit the goose that laid the golden egg in terms of the parameters, strategies, call it what you like, algos. And then it did what I had tried to prepare myself for, which was a 2 or 3 month flat spot, pullback, whatever you want to call it. And that, even though you talk about expecting these things and you try and train yourself to deal with them, it was still a bit of a slap in the face, and it meant I had to go back to the drawing board to not necessarily slide those off the desk, as it were, because that, when I analysed all the different pullbacks like this sort of thing here, they can go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Some go on for 5 months, which is quite depressing when you've, I don't know, maybe hit 5k profit for whatever, it doesn't matter, a profit, a number of pips, and then you see that draw down to 3, say. But the upside of that is, if you're thinking of, you know, if you're here, then really this would be a good time, much the same as we say buy the dip. It would be a good time to consider, don't worry too much about this particular graph, it would be a good time to consider going in. So but I, you know, if anyone, if I get people involved in this, then you've got to understand the risks that it could all just explode. There are no guarantees. There's never any guarantees with this. Giving 5 or 10 years data, 20 years data is no guarantee either. And what inspired me to actually make this video, this is hot off the press. This is a brand new algo, brand new set of parameters, literally after I got back from doing all my fitness stuff about an hour ago. because I realised I'd totally missed a set file that I tested on one instrument, um, and not used it on the other one. And I've been focusing a little bit on gold. This is a gold chart, gold algo. And it's a fairly long flat spot here. Bit worrying, but it is only a 1 minute chart, and I can't even remember exactly how many trades this took. And bear in mind, this is probably the start of 15 or 15, 20, 30 hours more work now to actually not optimize so much as improve, because optimizing is like trying to make, I don't know, polish a turd or something like that, over optimization. This is actually finding new, better ways to build these set files. And what inspired me to make this video and what inspired me to talk about this is I was searching around the web last night for some info about marketing EAs, keeping them secure and all that lot. And I came across this guy, and he's flogging all this stuff, and he's been doing it for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. And it wasn't until I looked closely at what he was showing that I realized he was showing curves that looked okay and all that, but they were taking 150 trades over 5 or 6 years. So I don't know what that is exactly. 1 a month? I mean, crikey, that would drive me absolutely insane. And unless you look into the details of these things, you will never know. Now, this is what, June till October. So I think it's about 15 or 16 months now, off the top of my head. So, they all talk about, 500% return, and they put all that. I was on MQL5 the other day, but these are going on for ages. I mean, I didn't look closely at that stuff. I'm not really interested in that stuff, but I would rather have, because this is one of, probably I could pull about 20 set files off of this particular new set of parameters. So, and when you have a dip here, hopefully one of the other 20 or so will ride that out. So it won't look as horrible as this. That's the idea anyway. So, to get to my point now, and the other numbers with this particular one I focused on for 15 minutes yesterday were pretty horrendous as well. Reward risk, he was talking about. The old story really. They were making 400 quid a trade, but the average losing trade was 700 quid. Admittedly, I think he was making 2 to 1 on the other number that we use, the average, the biggest trade, and the biggest winner against the biggest loser, or whatever it was, I don't know. But everything I do, I try and get an average of at least 2 or 3 to 1 on the daily trades, as it were, the intraday trades. So there was a lot that is wrong about these other guys, and there's a lot that I think is better, and I would say that, about what I've been doing here. Now, these can all be improved on. I would rather we didn't have these long periods of drawdown. But let me get to another point again. It is so I am now. I would never be happy trying to convince people to have a go, test it, whatever you want to say, pay for it, because there's no way I'm giving away thousands, literally hundreds of hours work now for nothing. But it has to be sensible. I've thought about maybe auctioning. I've not looked into that. It was just an idea I've put in the notebook. Maybe because certain set files, some of these do 50 trades over the 15 months. or less. But they're the ones that don't have these horrible drawdowns. So what do you do? But to you guys that might never have considered EAs, and I've paid for EAs in the past, and they've all been dreadful. I actually gave up and said, right, if I can't make one myself with my own 3CR and 2B reversal style, because they're all based on that, then I should just not bother at all. So that's where we are. I would never, ever consider anyone tests anything with real money unless I felt 100% it was going to work. One of the positives that's come from this drawdown period, if you like, is that I know, as I always intended to, I can re-optimize, get rid of these flat spots, improve, learn from them, and pull out stuff like this. So that's positive as well. So everything will be ironed out via one-to-ones and whatever about this, about the project, as it were, before you part with a penny, and if anyone even intends to. But that's the reason for this update. Is I just wanted, I don't even know, no, this is still running actually. It's on 1 minute, and it's got a trailing stop facility, which is why it takes quite a while. So, because if I remember correctly, this should be knocking out something like 300 trades. It seems to have stalled. And we'll give it a moment. Maybe it's my computer with the recording stalling it. So anyway, this is exciting, this particular set file, which is why I made the video. And I'm now, hopefully a few of you have made it to the end if you're that interested. I'm now, this obviously has finished, it's not the 300 trade run over the 15 months, but 221 trades on an M1 and a fairly good equity curve. Fairly good. It's first of many, many runs, as I said. I'm now in a position, I feel confident enough now to actually start looking at how to bring these to public testing, as it were, with a few of you. You know, if this weather keeps on like it is and life keeps improving as it does, then it may still take 3 or 4 months, but, well, no, not that long, because it's got to start raining soon. If it's going to be a month or two before I get things in a position where we can get them distributed in a careful and timely manner, as it were. But that's months. It's much better than I thought this time yesterday, to be honest with you, or maybe, no, 2 days ago. But things are looking really, really good. Got loads and loads. The focus on gold, with the way gold is moving at the moment, has been amazing. I mean, I go down the beach 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I come back and 250 pips in gold is staring me in the face. And the live equity curves are, or forward testing, should I say, are looking amazing. And as I said right at the start of this, it's a trend trading. You know, these trades are huge. I'll post one on Twitter in a short while. As I say, 600 pips, 300 pips, 400 pips. I mean, you are going, if you're intending to have a play with these, you are going to have to really train your brain not to mess around with the trades. You know, because it's, well, yeah, I mean, that's up to you. You can't speak for anyone, can you? As a trader, that is our main stumbling block, isn't it? You know, holding the runners and all that malarkey. Anyway, this is where we are now. Oh, let's have a look at the report on this particular one. Yeah, so the run that I thought this was going to be was a 25k winner, much better profit factor. As I say, it was well over 300 trades, but obviously I pressed the wrong set file. And what else have we got? Yeah, the one I looked at was 8% there, or 8 plus. That's a nice figure. 5 versus 3. Always like to see that figure high. Maximum consecutive wins, as it were. Average profit trade, that's good as well, 3 to 1 or thereabouts. As I say, this is blind. I don't even know what that. I would prefer that to be 3 or equal, or 4 to 3, say. So that needs improvement. What else have we got? Oh, that number there, yeah. This was the number I was talking about, where he was saying 400 quid and 800 quid, not good at all. And this figure, he was talking about 800 quid and 800 quid this side, biggest loss trade or larger, and probably about 1100 quid that side. And as you can see, these are a little bit too large, if you like. That's why you get these massive gaps in the equity curve. You know, I'd rather see something like a 2 to 1 on both of these figures if possible, because it will yield more trades anyway. Because you've got to remember, some of these 1 minute trades are holding over 4 or 5 hours, or days, some of them even, on a 1 minute chart, which is hard to deal with when you are looking at the numbers go up and down and up and down. For me as a scalper anyway. So anyway, I'll draw it to a close because I want to get down the beach again. We're making really good progress, folks. And you know, before any of you I would expect any of you to part with your hard-earned cash. There's a lot of work to do in my back end, as it were. Not my literally back end, that's dreadful, but in you know, the bringing it to the public, as it were. So, but it's looking good. It's looking fantastic, in fact. So let's have another look at that graph. So this is back in June 2024, or July 2024, I should say. Last day of June. Yeah, thereabouts. And here we are in October 2025. And you know, you just gotta. You never ever trade more than you can afford to lose. So, you know, whatever you see, you know, do your own sums, do your calculations, and these are the possibles that can happen. So, and this is on I think it doesn't matter, 30. Yeah, it is a 30 to 1 leverage. So everything works. This is actually a demo, FTMO demo as well. They're just easy to run and set up. So from that point of view, but I test them on 4 other different brokers as well, and make sure that these all work the same on a number of brokers, and that's it. It's all very heavily tested, let's put it that way. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry for the super long rambling video, as is my norm, and I hope this has been of some value to you. But it is, you know, I'm getting so much closer now to rolling out some sort of testing for people. 3crbot, best forex method on Twitter, if you don't know who I am, what I am. And this is YouTube, as it were. You're on Best Forex Method YouTube. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.